I understand being a homeowner can be stressful, trying to save money here and there, but skipping maintenance could be huge bills tomorrow. Welcome to the Garage Authority podcast powered by A1. Today we have a very special guest on, the expert of maintenance and why, the one and only Trevor D. What's going on, brother?
Not a whole lot. Good to be here.
Yeah, dude, getting right into the meat and potatoes, why is maintenance overlooked? Because I know this grinds your gears.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, doors are there when you want them to be, and that's it, right? So, I mean, you don't pay attention to it. If it's going up when you go in, then great. And then when you are already inside, it's behind you and closing. So as long as it does both, you don't hear any crazy noises, then there's no issues until there are.
Right. People like, if it's not broke, don't fix it kind of mentality.
What's broken? It worked when I went in and closed it.
Right. That's always, it could have just not broke. It could have just not broke and we could have got ahead of this. 100%. Now, what's the number one issue that grows from neglecting garage doors?
I mean, really the biggest issue is needing to replace your door way before you needed to or ever had to. You could have never needed to, honestly. But I think the biggest issue is so much neglect that, you know, by the time something big happens from neglect, that so many repairs are needed. The question is often rudely asked, well, what's a new door cost if it needs all these repairs? When some annual maintenance or at least assessment, you know, a little repair here and there would have gotten ahead of that, and at least let you be the decider or the decision maker of that needing to be done or not.
I mean, that's why I brought you, because you do know this, because you deal with people every day to where it's at that point of a new door. So constantly all day, that's why you're the expert on preventative maintenance, because day after day you have to deal with people where they let it go way too far. Now, how do small parts lead to big failures?
For sure, right? Like, I mean, the door is a moving wall with no built-in suspension, and it's a bunch of hard metal hinges and components that work together. And so not any one piece is, you know, hypercritical to the function of the whole system, but since they're all hard metal parts, they all need to work together well. And so, you know, one failed hinge can start to transfer stress to another hinge and so on and so forth. And all of a sudden it's not working correctly. And with a big moving wall that has to run up and down level, you know, just being off by a half an inch on one side can lead to the hinges or the rollers on one side that were fine having too much stress, and now they're getting stuck in the track because it's off by half an inch. And if those rollers were taken care of and had rolled smoother, then maybe they wouldn't have as much trouble. But because those were neglected, now they're stuck in the track. And now the cable on one side is loose because the roller's stuck because it never got changed. And now you have a door that's cockeyed in the opening, and now you need a professional at 10 o'clock at night.
10 o'clock at night is not a time that I want to have to call somebody. So what is probably, we all have those stories as technicians of where you saw that exact, like what has been the most costly thing that you've seen because of neglect?
Oh, for sure. I mean, it's crazy. We, you know, living in Phoenix, getting called to tons of really nice homes and really nice vehicles. And I think the thing you shake your head at the most, being a technician in such great areas, is pulling up to homes that have, you know, cars that are worth as much as a house, that have a door that's worth less than one of the rims on the car. And not because it's about the value, but about like the safety of what it actually is that goes over that vehicle. And you know, I've shown up to doors that have had angle iron and JB weld and duct tape and you name it, even 2x4s, you know, drilled into the top of the door to keep, you know, where the motor pulls on that bracket, to keep that stiff and stable, you know, DIY'd. And that fails because it wasn't done by a professional, and the whole top panel caves in, and it's on top of a Jeep, it's on top of a car, a Corvette. And so, you know, for $4,000 or $5,000, you know, or lower or higher, you could have saved an $80,000 car. You know, the car is always more expensive to fix than it is to replace the door or maintenance the door. It's never once a cheaper equation to do the door instead of the car, or the other way around, sorry.
Dude, and it's either it's going to mess up the car, like you were saying, or it's a little bit too much DIY. We're going to have some medical debt on top of that, too. It's crazy. Now, what's the ideal maintenance schedule for people so they don't have to end up in those situations?
For sure. I mean, right, for most, like, average homeowner doors, you know, HOA doors, your regular 16x7 openings, Nothing crazy, no full view glass or wood overlay fancy. Like once a year is recommended, and that's even on any current door that hasn't been messed with even in the last 20 years. There's a sticker on the inside of that door that you can walk right up to, and it tells you have a professional come out once a year to check the doors and spring balance. Right, it's on the doors from the factory. Unless somebody removes it.
Right.
And even if you are a DIYer and you open up the motor that you install yourself, right? If you decide to replace your own operator, there's a booklet in there that tells you that you need to have your door within a certain weight on the ground. So, I mean, that once a year is the minimum. And really, if you use your door a lot, why not have it done twice a year? The liability is everything. Who's using it? Is it just you, or is it you and your family, your kids, your neighbor's kids? Or, you're like me as a kid hanging on the door while it's going up and down in the opening. Is that your kid out there? You're like, well, first of all, take a look at that. But second of all, maybe have your door looked at a little more often than once a year, right? It can be wrong with peace of mind.
Yeah, definitely. Bigger door twice a year, regular door once, just a minimum.
Yep.
Just a minimum. Now, when doing all of this, we talk about how garage doors have an ROI of 268, something ridiculous % on it. In your opinion, what's the ROI of the annual tune-up?
I mean, it's priceless, really, right? There's two ways to look at that, I think.
Solid.
I think it really is. I mean, safety is paramount, right? You can never put a price on safety. And so in terms of the tune-up, they say when you would sell a door, it's, what'd you say, it's up to like 268% ROI or something? When you sell a home with a new door. And, I frame that one way is if you have a new door in the home when you sell the house, it's first thing people see. Really there are some benefits to being insulated, decorative, fancy, whatnot, but ultimately it's how the buyer frames the home. And if it's a door that's beat up, then they frame the rest of the walkthrough as what else isn't taken care of that I can't see because the door is visible and it's not taken care of.
Right.
So that right there is a huge benefit when you're selling the home. Now, the ROI of maintaining your own door is being on the right side of the choose or have to. And so there's 2 times you replace a door, and it's when you choose to because you want to and you should, or when you have to because it fell and it collapsed and it hurt something or somebody and the door is no longer operable or repairable, right? You don't want to be on the have to side. That's always more expensive. It's never at the right time. It doesn't let you know when it's going to happen. And so the proactive maintenance lets you be on the choose to side of door replacement instead of the have to side.
Right. Ain't that the truth? You never get to, door doesn't care what you're doing at that time either. Doesn't care about what's going on in life. It's just going to happen when it happens. And I tell you, it's when you're trying to go home or when you're leaving. It's always at the most inopportune time. So we've gone over maintenance. We've gone over issues of neglect, small parts and how they domino. We're also kind of where it's been costly for people, whether it's cars. And honestly, that the ROI on just maintenance is priceless. Is there anything encompassing this that you feel like we kind of missed?
Not really. Just don't neglect the huge wall on the front of your house, right? Don't undervalue it. It's people will freak out sometimes, even on like an average cost door that will last 10, 15, 20 years if you take care of it, and just like something very, very basic, just with good maintenance. And they won't realize that if they compounded that same cost for their cable bill for the same time, they'd spend more on having internet or having cable television than they would just replacing a part of their home that's keeping the elements out, that keeps your house safe. So I think people will spend their money where they want to, and it's not fun or exciting to do, but don't undervalue how important that part of your home is. It's a wall in your home, and it can pay dividends to make sure you're taking care of it.
Dude, you heard it from the guy. And if you don't trust him, watch him at the golf course. He can drive a ball 348 yards, and we're talking carry, son. All right? He knows what he's talking about. Trevor, thank you so much for coming on. Dude, you're the man.
Thank you.